I don't know if I have to introduce myself. I wouldn't know what to say anyway, because who I am and what I do is still sort of unknown to myself. Though, every day, bit by bit, I'm trying to get closer and closer to those answers. Who am I? What do I do? And how am I going to live my life? What's my place in this world? And today, for the second time in 2 weeks, I've taken psychedelic mushrooms, which up until a week ago or so, I hadn't taken for almost 20 years. I'm 35 now. I used to be heavily into all sorts of synthetic drugs when I was 15, 16, so that's exactly 20 years ago now. And coming back to psychedelics at this point in life has actually been very interesting, eye-opening and helpful. It's not a drug, it's not something you get high on, it's not something you get hooked on. Anyway, people that have taken psychedelic mushrooms or acid or mescaline, they would know what I'm talking about. So the inspiration for this video here is coming from the point where I'm realizing that whenever I'm on psychedelics, even though some parts of your brain get sort of shut down and other parts of your brain really get ramped up, the inner chatter in my head, that constant voice that I usually carry around, just thinking, analyzing, thinking, just preventing me from being connected to myself, being connected to others, being connected to nature. Like, look at this, this is my backyard, and on a normal day-to-day basis, I don't really feel overly connected to nature. I appreciate it and I'm aware of it, but I don't feel like I'm one with nature, or I'm one with myself, or I'm one with other people. And that completely stops when I take psychedelics, not in a overly spiritual, super exaggerated way or anything. That constant voice just stops, and for a few hours I feel comfortable in my own body. I don't have to doubt myself or anything about myself. I feel connected to the people around me, particularly connected to my girlfriend Melissa, which unfortunately doesn't happen too often because we both have a lot of things going on that prevent us from connecting. There's too much thinking, there's too much baggage, so much stuff in between that prevents would prevent anyone, prevents us from connecting. And that's a shame. And on psychedelics, I can truly appreciate her for what she really is. And I can appreciate myself for what I am. I don't need to change anything about myself. I don't need to change anything about her. I'm just at peace. And what I want to try is, because it seems that every time, or both times I've taken mushrooms during the last 2 weeks, every time I do, even though once the effect wears off, that inner voice and that inner chatter turns on again, I am able to take something with me into normal life. And now that I've done this the second time within a week and a half, I think now I can take away from this experience even more than what I did last time. And as soon as the effect starts wearing off, the voice is coming back and all that stuff, but I feel like it might be getting less, and I'm actually really, every time I do get to feel more comfortable in my own skin, which is something I never experience. Well, never is not correct, but rarely experience. There are lots of things that can just take me out of this state of being sure about myself, feeling comfortable in my own skin, knowing who I am, knowing what I do, knowing what I don't do. But on psychedelics, there's no doubt about all those things. I don't have to doubt anything. I don't have to feel separate from myself, which ultimately is what prevents you from connecting with anyone. If you're not connected to yourself, how can you possibly connect with someone else? Connect how? Like what's my part in this equation then? If I don't know who I am, and like what am I connecting with? Anyway, so I'm actually thinking about doing mushrooms every single day from now on. No, obviously that's not going to happen. But I do want to do it maybe once a month, or maybe once a week for a month, and then once a month after that, and then maybe once every so often. But I do want to see if this theory of mine is actually true. That every time you do get to experience the world and yourself on psychedelics, which is, I don't know if you want to be scientific about it, the part of the brain that would be responsible for consciousness is amplified. So in that state, in an amplified state of consciousness, that every time that happens, I get to take something with me into normal day-to-day life. And for someone who's been removed from his own self for such a long time, it might actually take some time to get back to that, and I might need some help. And that's what I'm going to do. I actually want to try that. I want to take mushrooms more regularly with the aim of having this positive effect in my normal life without mushrooms, with the aim, of course, not having to take mushrooms all the time, even though I don't think it's a bad thing. So that's what I'm going to do, and I might do a little video series about this and document the transformation. I know some people only have to take mushrooms once and they can take away all the information they need, implement it into their lives, and that's it. And that's good. Some people don't even have to take mushrooms to get that. But they can definitely help you. And if you're that far removed from yourself and you've never been comfortable in your own skin for 35 years, it might take some time to actually come back to that belief that nothing's wrong with you. Anyway, it's the stillness. It's the stillness and the absence of constant chatter in my head that is such a refreshing thing and such a massive relief to just get a break from it. Someone's talking in my head all the time, non-stop. It's myself. It's something I have adopted. But there's something I can do about it. Alright. Mushroom power.
Peace.